Super Bowl Sunday. Welcome back to Panel by Panel. I'm Tom Meany, and today I'm really excited to start this series of videos with you. I've been wanting to do this for a while. It took a while to write. There's a lot of research involved, and when I first tried, my first attempt at recording didn't go so well, so I basically just wiped the slate clean and started over from scratch. But you know, it's a beautiful day out. I'm feeling super motivated. I was really excited with how my DC Heroes reaction turned out. I've tried to do reactions in the past, and the dual recording software just didn't work out all that great, and I wasn't happy about it. I do have a Patreon down below. Don't have anything started just yet on any Patreon exclusive content, although I do have a couple ideas, and I might be reaching out on social media. Also, links in the description for suggestions on a few things that I want to do, but I'm not sure how to approach it. So if you're familiar with how to do it, please let me know, because there's some fun stuff I want to do to create Patreon exclusive content. Before I get started into the new video, we are currently on the road to 100 subscribers for the channel. I'm up to 20 already. I was really excited when I checked the subscriber list and I saw I'm up to 20. So we're fifth of the way there. It's good stuff. But I was a little concerned. So when I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a random drawing for this. It's DC Special Series number 21. Features the first Frank Miller Batman art, and the copy I'm giving away is signed by Frank Miller and certified by Comic Sketch Art. When I pull up my subscribers list, I can only see 9 subscribers. I have 20 subscribers, but I can only see 9. When I hit 100 subscribers, I'm doing the drawing. Okay? But if I can't see all 100, I'm only putting in the people that I can see. So if I pull up 100, if I see I have 100 subscribers, I'm going to do the drawing. But if I pull up the subscriber list and I only see 50 people, those 50 people are going to be the ones entered. So if you want to have a chance to win this book, make sure that I can see your subscription. So you have to get in there and edit your settings to make sure that your subscription isn't private. I need to be able to see who you are. And I'm not going to take a message or a comment saying, hey, I'm subscribed. That doesn't do anything. I need to be able to see that you are subscribed to my channel. And if you want to keep an eye on the subscriber count until we get closer to 100, just that way you can pop it up there just long enough for me to get to do the drawing and then change it back to private, that's fine too. If I hit 100 subscribers tomorrow, I'm going to do the drawing. If I can't see your name's not going to go in the drawing. I'm glad we got that little PSA out of the way. Let's get on to today's video. What is the Superman curse? The Superman curse is, in a nutshell, it's a series of unfortunate events that are linked to multiple people, namely actors, who are involved in the Superman franchise. And it's really started making its rounds with actual Superman actors, not necessarily anyone else, but it has sent, as the myth of the Superman curse has grown, it's been connected to multiple people associated with Superman, not just Superman actors, and not just performers with Superman. There have been outside people as well who have just been involved in the Superman franchise. It could be comic books, it could be radio shows, cartoons, just unfortunate happenstances in their lives. And that's what this series is going to be about. I'm going to be talking about the Curse of the Superman. It's going to be a multi-part series. I'm not saying how many I'm going to do, but I think I know how many videos it's going to take to cover everyone that I've been able to look up and do research and link to the Superman curse. And today, part 1, we're going to start with the original live-action Superman, Kirk Alyn. Alyn was born John Fago in Oxford, New Jersey in 1910, and he went to New York City to pursue a career in journalism. And after graduating college, he began to work part-time in Broadway so he could earn money for his journalistic studies, but eventually decided on an acting career instead of a reporting one, which is kind of ironic when you think about the biggest role he ever had, who he played. He started working on Broadway, and throughout the 30s, he was an extra and a dancer. And then in the early 40s, he went to Hollywood to continue to pursue that acting career. And he played bit parts, and a lot of really small roles, as any new actor is going to do. They're going to play a lot of smaller roles, get the roles wherever they can, just so they can build up their resume and maybe get into something bigger. And he did. Republic Pictures started casting him in major supporting roles for some of their B westerns. The Overland mail robbery, which Alyn played a comical, gun-shy character who ultimately proved to be pretty heroic in tight situations. And in 1944's Call of the Rockies, where he played third fiddle to Smiley Burnett and Sunset Carson, but he was also the romantic lead.
Here, take these plans quick.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to try to get rid of these fellows if I can. Now hurry.
I won't leave you.
Don't argue, Marge. Now hurry, get going.
After those early movies, he joined the Navy for World War II and was absent from Hollywood for 2 years. Following World War II, Kirk Alyn re-entered films, and he went back to Republic, and he got to co-star in his first ever movie, Serial. The movie Serials, it's why people went to the movies early back then. Like nowadays, we go early to see the trailers and the little behind-the-scenes featurettes that they have. But the movie Serials were really, really common back then, and a lot of them were directed towards children, but there were some that were probably a little more adult-oriented. His first one was called The Daughter of Don Q. His character, Cliff Roberts, was a reporter investigating the murders of various co-heirs to an old Spanish land grant which controlled valuable property in modern-day California.
Now, what's the trouble here?
There's been a robbery. You got here very quickly, officer.
Oh, yeah, I happened to be in the neighborhood when the police call was broadcast. Now, tell me all about it.
Well, I'm Miss Contero.
Yes, I know you, Miss Fontaro. Who doesn't? Now, who was robbed and what they get?
You must apprehend that bandit, officer. I've been beaten, humiliated, and insulted.
Oh, I see. You were here when the burglar broke in.
What are you doing here, Roberts?
My job, Inspector, getting a story.
Well, isn't this gentleman a police officer?
He's neither a policeman nor a gentleman. He's a nosy reporter from the Bulletin. He picks up police broadcasts and tries to beat us to the scene of the crime.
And usually does. Not only to the scene, but to the solution of the crime.
After The Daughter of Don Q, Alyn went back to playing supporting roles, a lot of bit parts, uncredited, extra type work, until he got a call for another serial, which ended up being his most popular, Superman. And it's funny because nowadays, when you hear that they're casting a Superman, more often than not, they're going to go with a younger actor. Brandon Routh, when he was cast for Superman Returns, was 24. Christopher Reeve, I think, was 23. Kirk Alyn was 37 when he got cast. I'm literally about to turn 36. That's not young for the role. There was such a huge field of applicants that they ended up ultimately going with him because of his previous role in Daughter of Don Q, where he played a reporter. They asked him to take off his shirt. He took it off. He was in good shape. And they even asked him to take off his pants because they needed to see that he had good legs because he was going to be in a skin-tight outfit. Alyn did an excellent job in the role. He was fantastic. As Superman, he's confident, he's charming. As Clark Kent, he's very mild-mannered, and he actually played the role in different parts. You know, there was the radio show with Bud Collyer voicing Superman. Bud Collyer, because in radio he had to make Clark and Superman sound very different. Alyn took that same approach with this Superman serial. Is that he played Superman and Clark as two very different roles, and he just did incredibly well. And he starred alongside Tommy Bond as Jimmy Olsen, and the great Noelle Neal in her first appearance as Lois Lane. Production of Superman wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, though. There was a lot of penny pinching. It was very low budget, and they couldn't afford proper stunt work. And so Kirk Alyn was actually called on to do a lot of his own stunts, and it almost got him seriously injured a couple different times. But the producers were so careless about it that they literally even joked about who was doing the real stunts. They saying that it was actually Superman who did it, which didn't sit well with Alyn. But it was a success. It was a very successful serial, and Republic Pictures, they jumped on. And so they brought him back to star in another serial called Federal Agents versus the Underworld. This came out in the late 40s, I think around 1949, 1950.
This isn't the man I expected, but he'll do. Frisk him.
It just ended up being another successful serial, and they were able to capitalize on him being Superman. So he started becoming that guy that you see everywhere, but it was strictly for the serials. You know, we see all these actors and actresses who were just like, hey, I know him. It was the same thing with Alyn. He started becoming featured regularly in these serials. So even though he wasn't jumping up to superstardom, he was getting steady work. Following Federal Agents versus the Underworld, Alyn was cast to play another government agent in the serial Radar Patrol versus the Spy King. This one was not as well received as some of the other as any of the other serials he'd been in, but he made the most out of it. He was given kind of your typical Federal Agents dialogue for the era, but him with his acting chops that he had, he was able to bring a little bit of humor to it, a little gravitas, and he made the most out of something that just wasn't very good. But in 1950, Alyn got brought back into Columbia to film Superman again. This is a sequel to his original serial, and he was finally given credit for playing Clark Kent, although they still billed Superman as playing himself, and they brought back his other cast members from the first serial. Noel Neill was brought back to play Lois Lane. Tommy Bond was back as Jimmy Olsen. And this one featured the first live-action debut of a certain bald arch-nemesis, guy named Luthor.
Out here.
There's your answer. Superman.
No surprise, it was a success. Following Adam vs. Superman, Alyn did one more serial, Blackhawk, the famed World War II fighter with the Blackhawk crest. It was actually one of their better serials that they had done. And Alyn, as always, gave the serial just that extra pop, that extra lift that it needed, thanks to his ability to play an authoritative figure with personality.
Never thought I'd see you again.
What happened to those men?
They got away in their car.
One of them has a cylinder of Element X.
I know. I think we can trail them.
How?
I put a hole in the radiator. It's leaking.
Good. We'll get right after them. The man I was fighting went to sleep. I'll tell the police about him.
Following the Blackhawk serial, Alyn ultimately went back to playing bit parts and extra work. And he was offered the chance to come back and play Superman for the TV series, but there was a lot of uncertainty as to whether or not it would actually happen. And so he turned that down because he didn't want to commit to something that they weren't sure was even going to happen. They weren't sure if it was reality. It's kind of cool knowing that he was open to it, but he needed to know. He needed to know for certain that there was something that they were going to do, and they just couldn't give that certainty at that time. So he went back to playing, cameos, bit parts pretty much until the end of his career, and one of those parts being a cameo as Lois Lane's father in Superman the movie. You can see him very briefly in Smallville, Kansas, when Clark outruns the train.
Lois Lane, you have a writer's gift for invention. I'll say that for you.
But
Lois, please read your book.
No one ever believes me.
Alyn's final on-screen film appearance was in a low-budget horror film in 1983 called Scalps. Made his way around conventions before he finally retired and lived out the rest of his life in Texas, and he died in 1999. He never became a big A-list actor, but he had some mild success. There's no parades or anything for him, but if you actually go out to Wharton, New Jersey, where he grew up, there is a plaque commemorating his life in the borough. It's in the municipal building, which is really that small town's only point of interest. So if you ever find yourself out there, go check that out, get a picture, and I'd love to see it. Tag me on Twitter or something. So what do you think? Was he cursed, or was it just the era that he was working in? He was the first ever live-action actor to play Superman, and he did so much serial work. That's kind of how he was seen as, and so he was never able to really get anything else. That's kind of where I'm leaning. It's just the era, and Superman was children's entertainment back then. It's not like today where we've had people growing up with these characters. It was written strictly for children and families as simple entertainment. So was it a curse, or was he just not considered a bankable name because of his work in Superman and serials? That's what I'm going to go with. But what do you think? Do you think he was cursed? Or do you think it was just the industry as it was back then? Let me know in the comments. Also, please be sure to like and subscribe. Once we hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to do that drawing for the DC Special Series number 21. Make sure that I can see that you're subscribed. If I can't see it, I can't enter you. So just keep that in mind. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and keep being on the lookout for part 2.